Tonight, archaeologists are asking for volunteers willing to risk their life in the name of discovery, followed by Anchor Subliminal with Patch Notes. Next, the Star Citizen of the Week. Then, could there be life on Orion? Also, ship updates again? Later, a month of holidays. And we'll finish up with a pretty beefy rapid fire segment. Good evening and welcome to Galactic News Weekly. I'm your host, Xander Fliesright. Recent satellite transmissions have led archaeologists on a mission to find a number of derelict ships in unexplored locations around the Stanton system. A team of experts were able to locate one of the crash sites and found that it had already been raided and booby-trapped by those who seek to lay claim to historical artifacts and scientific findings. Contracts under the search category have been going out to retrieve rare loot and valuables from these derelict ships. Be warned, the search will be long and the battles may be dangerous. This is a mission that is not for the faint of heart. More specialized telescopic equipment shows similar crashes in more remote areas. The extent of erosion and vegetation indicate that these ships have been laid to waste for decades. But it will take archaeologists time to explore these ruins in person. In this week's community topic, tell us what you think about these extra remote derelict ships in the comments below. Next tonight, let's welcome Subliminal, a host from our parent network with a Galactic News immersion break.
Thank you, Xander, for handing it over to me, buddy. Really appreciate it, man. All right, so let's take a look at the patch notes for 3.16.1. This is going to be a curated list. I'm only going to talk about a couple things that I think are important or something that I think everybody should know. So let's start out with a database reset, which means that it's basically done a character reset for you, which is good because it brings all your stuff back to your home location. You might get a lot of lost items recovered. As far as known issues, of course, attempting to log back into a ship bed may result in a long loading screen before being sent back to the main menu with a 30,009 error. So again, don't bed log. This will probably be something that veteran players never do again. So that's still a known issue. Pretty big deal on that. Logging out of a Reliant ship bed, of course, will put it into flight mode and the pilot or anybody inside will be stuck. Well, that's been an issue for probably a year now. Can't repair, refuel, and restock at LEOs. That's a big issue, especially with atmospheric flight bounties going on right now. I really would have liked to have seen them get that fixed because those have been so fun. It'd be nice to repair planet side. Then next up, we'll go over the feature updates. So of course we get derelict ships. I've been playing these for the last couple days and I've got to say, I personally think they're underwhelming. It took me a while to figure out exactly how to get them to come up. I tried the Zeta Prolenade missions. Those weren't consistent on giving me a caterpillar wreck. It does need to be a caterpillar wreck. The most luck that I've had was going to Microtech and doing the search missions. Those will take you to go search for people or a one person. And when you go to do those, you'll have a lot of loot and stuff around. I was able to get a really rare woodland sniper camo AO3 sniper rifle, which is pretty cool. But out of hours of playing it, that was all I really got that I would say that was maybe worth my time. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they do look pretty cool. I would like to see more of them. I'd like to see progression. There's no rep progression. So there's, it would have been nice to maybe have the old Rex, but as you do more, you get to unlock the newer ones rather than it kind of being just mixed in between. And when you go to do it, you might get 3 in a row that are just the old Rex. Next up, we got shield delay changes. So this second part, I don't really understand what this means, but let's go over the first part first. So shield face regen delay timer will now also trigger if the ship hull is hit. Used to be able to get away with being hit while the shield was in its regen delay stage, but that wouldn't reset that. Well, now it does. So basically, this is a nerf to shields. I thought that like 3.14 put kind of a nerf on shields, and this kind of nerfs it even farther. Although I have to say, I don't really notice much of a difference in verse, so maybe this is just kind of a small thing. Yeah, and then this second part, shield regen delay timers will now trigger for all faces when the power state, this is the part that confuses me, of any shield generator has changed. So I'm assuming that this means that if your shields are down, even if you get hit in a different facing, it will reset the regen delay for all of them. I'm assuming that that's what that means. Let me know in the comments if you guys know exactly for sure. But the way they worded this it isn't very clear, at least to me. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of looks like basic nerfs to shields, which I guess is fine as long as everybody's on an even playing field. Quantum travel polish. This is so important to me. This has been an absolute nightmare playing on stream, just trying to get from point A to point B, and you can't because there's two items or two locations in the same spot, and it would do this flickering thing, and you couldn't get to either of them. So you had to open up the star map, which I absolutely hate doing, set the route, and go. So it seems to me like I haven't had that issue since this, so I'm guessing that that's what that means. Yeah, so if you have those two beacons in the same spot, it won't hinder you from being able to jump. Next up, we have reduced Mustang Delta rocket pod damage, which is honestly pretty weird that they would reduce the damage, but then later on you'll see that they remove the ability for people to put these on other ships. I wouldn't have thought that it needed a damage reduction if it was forced to stay on the Mustang Delta. Next up, we're going to go to bug fixes. There's a lot of these to cover. I'm just going to kind of go over them real quick. Character's head, mobiGlass, and other equipment disappear when you come out of Clasher. They fixed this bug like a million times. I'll believe it when I see it, but they said they fixed it again. Maybe the fourth or fifth time is the charm. Fixed an issue that was causing elevators at Grimhex and underground facilities to duplicate or overlap. So this is a pretty important one. Basically, if you were at Grimhex, there'd be two elevators spawned in one, and then if you were able to get in, you might not be able to get out, so it's really a pain. Sometimes they would both break. You would just be trapped. There's another exit, but not a lot of people really know about that. But yeah, so great that they fixed that if it's actually fixed. I want to say that this has appeared in a bug fix in the past, but let's hope it stays this time. Fix an issue causing player hydration not to deplete. I have not had to drink or eat anything in a long time. Glad, I guess, to see that back, get that immersion back. Fixed issues causing multiple ships having shield holes allowing their laser repeaters through when their landing gear was retracted. Now, I had issues with this doing PvE bounties on low pop servers where they had laser repeaters that were able to hit my ship, and it didn't matter if my landing gear was up or down. My landing gear is normally up anyway, so weird bug there. I hope that they also fixed it for when the landing gear was up, but yeah, I've had some weird issues where I was being shot through my shields, and they weren't ballistic. It wasn't ballistic fire. So fixed an issue that was not allowing players to interact with party members on the front end menu. This is a big one, right? There's a lot of these that I think that they fixed because Xenothreat's on the way, but this is a big one. Not having full party functionality out in the menu is great to see that fixed. Fixed an issue causing players to see extremely bright flashing lights around gas clouds. Another big one. Really, really annoying, jarring, dangerous when you're flying through a gas cloud and you just see big, huge white flashes. Epilepsy warning on that. Hopefully it's really fixed. Fixed an issue causing players to become stuck in queue to respawn in the ICU. This is another one that really needed to be fixed for Xenothreat. This is basically when you die and you sit there at a black screen waiting for a queue, and you shouldn't have to. Item interactions to no longer overlap other items, which made it difficult. Yeah, so this was two items basically inside of one another that would make it impossible or hard for you to pick up one of the items. So this is great that they were able to get that fixed. Close exterior prompts should now correctly close the ramps and doors on various ships. This is a good one. It's been pretty annoying. You haven't been able to close the door on your ship from like a keybind or the button on the cockpit. You had to literally have somebody be down there to click it. So I'm glad that they fixed that. Turrets should now properly attempt to shoot down torpedoes and bombs. Great one again for Xenothreat. Drake Caterpillar elevator should now retract correctly. Wow, a lot of Drake bug fixes. We get the inner thought fix on the Cutlass bunk beds, and then the Caterpillar gets its elevator fix, which means that unfortunately for you Drake owners, they're going to remove that real ship that you have, the C2 that you got as a loaner, and they're going to replace it back with your duct tape and a dream. Arlington Bounty, Idris should now show its marker for the player to follow. So this is great. We could do the Arlington mission now. That's been broken for a couple patches, which has kind of sucked. Rocket pod should no longer be able to be equipped on other ships that it's not intended to be. Like I said, as I mentioned that earlier, I guess is a good thing. I don't know. People have been doing this for a long time. I thought that they were okay with it. Fix an issue that allow players to swap and move bespoke ship items across many ships. So this is a big one here. A lot of people have been putting the ballistic Gatling from the Redeemer on other ships like the Vanguard. Now, Solid Red Panda, a community member in the Discord, he posted a picture of him putting the same Gatling on a multitude of different ships in this patch. I'm not sure if this is actually fixed or not, or maybe they weren't talking about this weapon. I did hear that one ship that had a double turret was able to put it on another, so maybe they were referring to a different one. I'm also a little bit concerned that the gun itself looks like it's not, there's missing textures or there's something wrong with it. Yeah, it's definitely weird. It doesn't really seem to be fixed. Freelancer variant loadout should now be able to be modified. I didn't even know that this was a thing. I haven't flown the Freelancer in a long time. Well, good for you guys. Fix multiple shield holes in the Aegis Saber. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been the Saber that I was in that I was getting hit through my shield. So maybe it was just something that was unique to just the Saber itself. All right, and that is it for the patch notes for 316.1. Back to you, Xander.
Thank you, Subliminal. That was very insightful. I have no idea what that guy's talking about. Next, could there be human life on Orion? Find out after these messages. Before we move on, we would like to give a huge shout out to the Robber Space Industry Citizen of the Week, Haskaha. He shared his beautiful collection of 42 of his favorite screenshots he gathered throughout 2951. Any of the images you see in our show and all of the images in the opener come from this collection. Be sure to check out his full collection on the Robber Space Industries Community Hub, or get it straight from the source at haskaha.com. Link in the description. Explorers of the Orion system have made an interesting yet unsettling discovery. The Orion system consists of 4 planets under Vandal control. It was once the territory of the UEE, settled and terraformed in 2650. The first ever human encounter with the Vandal was in this system, at the settlement of Dell Township, where over 600 human settlers were slaughtered during a raid. The system proved to be very rich in resources, with the belt offering deposits of gold and platinum. Unfortunately, after the Battle of Orion in 2712, humanity was forced to retreat. Track that to today, conflict is ongoing and all scientific research and resource mining have been aborted. However, recent reports indicate that there may still be human life on Armitage, the 3rd planet from the sun. Port Conrad, once a vibrant trading post, now a ghost town of ruins and craters, could be the center of trade for the inhabitants. There is no evidence that the threat of Vandal has lessened over the centuries, so it is truly amazing to see survivors thriving. Coming up, exclusive images from ship manufacturers. Last week we discussed some updates on various ships in production from different manufacturers. This week we have received some exclusive shots of a few of those ships. First up, the Drake Vulture should be hitting the market by 317. Next, the RSI Scorpius is a bit further along in production. Then the Miss Hull A is in the final steps towards completion. Here is the Banu Merchantman, still in early stages. And finally, the Drake Corsair will go from concept to reality throughout this year. What do you guys think about the progression of these ships? Hit the thumbs up button if you liked it, and hit the thumbs down button twice, and leave a comment if you didn't like it. In other news, Red Festival 2952 kicks off January 31st and will run until February 15th. As usual, during these 2 weeks, the Banu are hiding millions of gilded red envelopes around the system to wish you good fortune. The history of this event dates back to the 26th century when the Banu adopted it as their way to honor Kasa, their patent of luck. But for millennia before this, the Red Festival was celebrated on Earth as a way to celebrate the start of the Lunar New Year. The tradition exploded across the galaxy when Wendell Dopes visited the Project Farstar office in Shanghai in 2430 to purchase a discounted jump drive that would lead him to the Davian system. You're probably wondering how the two are connected, huh? Well, you see, during the festival of 2430 in Shanghai, Dopsy took his family to a lantern festival, where Dopsy and his daughter struggled to solve the riddle for over 2 hours. Then finally, the answer hit him, and the lantern was released. Seeing the lantern float above him all alone, away from everything, he saw himself doing the same. So he hugged his children, kissed his wife, and put that jump drive to work. Legend has it, only days later he discovered the jump that would alter history. Coincidentally, this event coincides with the Coromore, the romantic holiday for love, adventure, and hope. I guess the overlap is less coincidence and more fate. So enjoy the holiday season, explore new places, discover new adventures, and maybe attract new love, and never stop searching for good fortune. But wait, there's more. February 17th is Bring Your Noob to Work Day. If you have any friends not living in the verse, Robert Space Industries is offering a free ride to potential pilots that are looking to migrate to the Stanton system. As an incentive, Queerness Tech and Gemini have come together to offer you and any new pilot you recruit the Lodestone armor and a sniper rifle set for free. In honor of this month's holiday, our parent station Subliminals TV is giving away an Aegis Saber with the Year of the Monkey paint, including game package and LTI. Now for rapid fire. The UEE forces have thwarted the attack of Xenothreat, but CDF scouts estimate that we can expect them to regroup and hit back hard as early as February 3rd. Despite the recent raid, it seems that the drug syndicates have been trying to find a way to get the Jumptown labs running once again. Subscribe to our news station to find out if they succeed. The new hospital in Lorville, Maria Pure of Heart, is nearly complete and will be opening their doors to the ill and injured in the coming months. Some release photos have similar design cues to the Central Business District. Remember Levski, the city on that huge asteroid that drifted out of our system? Well, Delamar has made its way to the Nix system, where the residents have reported construction of Mercy Hospital. They have finished construction of the lobby, nurses station, elevators, insurance, and pharmacy booths. Hopefully the city doesn't drift away from them. Mining gadgets will soon be available to purchase at any refineries. There will be many to choose from. One in particular I like, the Okunis model, was able to take instability from 0.91 to 0.45 at the cost of changing its resistance from 0.18 to 0.28. Tools like this are a great way to ensure safety for miners out in the verse. After you walk away with your ore, reuse of the gadgets may be possible, so don't forget to check before disposal. The manufacturer Nova Pyrotechnica is resuming production on the fan favorite Rattler 2, this time with some brand new pyrotechnic effects. They're also experimenting with cluster bombs. The mayhem at Jumptown may never be the same again. The environment teams have been exploring the gas clouds around the pyro system. Although beautiful, they have been reported to have lots of debris, so when transporting to the pyro system, take caution in your flight path. Outlaw space stations have been popping up through the pyro system, many looking like they were once colonialist outposts or unfinished workspaces that seem unsafe even to the scariest of outlaws. Blue Triangle Incorporated, the creator of the Ripper and Tiger Claw crypto keys, has teased on social media an image of a new device. So be careful. A device like this in the wrong hands could really put the system in danger. Crusader Industries celebrates their iconic transporter with plushies inspired by the A2 Heavy Bomber, C2 Cargo Hauler, and the M2 Troop Transporter. Now you can own soft and squeezable variants of your classic Crusader ship. Thank you for watching. I am Xander Fliesright. This has been Galactic News Weekly, brought to you by this channel's supporters. If you would like to become a supporter, visit patreon.subliminal.gg. Tonight, archaeologists are asking for and we'll finish up with a pretty beefy rapid fire segment.
Stop?
Stop what?
Wearing headphones?
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Itches. What do you want me to do? I'm getting bit.
A few moments later.
I'm so itchy. So he struggled his children.
Damn.